Hello. 2 in 1 day. Wow. Oh. 2 episodes, that is. So this one is about I'm emotional. It's a story about my son and I, and what I realised through it was just how well looked after he is. And I've been sitting with that, and I feel so emotional. And I realised that if he is so well looked after, then I must be well looked after too. Wow. Yeah. Gosh. Yeah, I really feel that. Yeah. And it's funny, like, now that I see that and feel it, when I look back over the moments I've had in my life, I can see, even when I've had interesting experiences, I can see that in those moments I'm well looked after. Anyway, so this story happened a couple of weeks ago, and wow, it's funny. Anyway, I was just thinking, it happened a couple of weeks ago, yet it's taken till this moment to be able to share it, and I feel like it's because, and not that it matters, but I'm like, I think it's because it's like it takes me a while to really understand what it is that I'm showing myself. Anyway, I think that must be true. It just feels so beautiful. It feels so beautiful. Yeah. So anyway, what happened a couple of weeks ago was on a Thursday, I was trying to get out the door with Paddy, and I misplaced the spare keys from my car, having misplaced the original keys a while ago. And in the same moment, I also misplaced my husband's car keys. And it took me about an hour and a half. I was looking for them. And then I finally found my husband's spare keys. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just take his car for the day. So we continued our day. And then the next day, having still not found the other car keys, I put Paddy in the car, I put him in his seat, and he was playing with the keys. And I thought, that's all right. And I shut the door because it was raining, and I walked up to the shed to get some things. And when I came back, I went to open the door and it was locked. And I was like, what? And I looked at Paddy, and he had the car keys, and he was going, keys. And I was like, oh my God, he had locked the car. He'd locked himself in the car with the spare keys. Oh my God. It was a massive trigger for me. I was like, oh my gosh. I became quite emotional, and I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get into the car? And I was looking at him, and he thought it was hysterical, and he's shaking them. He's going, keys. And I'm like, buddy, oh my God. And I went into full reaction mode. And I came running inside, and I was like, how am I going to get into the car? And I was like, maybe if I can, I had a moment thought of, maybe if I can calm down, I'll find the spare keys and I can get him out. Find the original keys and get him out. But I just couldn't. I was so in reaction mode, I just couldn't calm myself down. I thought, I'll ring my girlfriend Ali and see if she can help shift me. And I tried to, I thought my phone was in the car with my wallet and stuff. And I thought, oh, how am I going to ring her? And I got onto the computer and I tried contacting her through Messenger. And I put the call through and she answered it, but she couldn't hear me. And I was like, oh, shit. So I ran next door to the neighbours, and the neighbour answered, and I was like standing there going, I'm quite emotional. She's like, it's all right, what's going on? And I told her Paddy's locked himself in the car, and she goes, ring the RACV. And I thought, oh, okay, I'll ring the RACV. But I came back around and I looked in the car. Paddy's still but he dropped the keys, but he was just sitting in there having a lovely time. And I was like, oh my God. And I came inside and I found my old mobile. And I was like, okay, I'll try and ring my girlfriend again. If she can help me shift the feeling, I'll find the spare keys and get him out. And I got onto Ali and she's like, take me down to the car. So I took her down and put up the phone to the car, and she's going to Paddy. She's got her keys and she's going to Paddy. Paddy, get the keys and open the door. And Paddy's sitting in his seat and he's waving, he's going like this. And she's like, no, get the keys. He's like waving. It just wasn't working. And my neighbour came around and she's like, I've got the number for a locksmith. So I bid Ali goodbye, came inside, rang from my landline, rang the locksmith, and I rang 3 and they were like, no, we're all out at the moment, we can't come around. Thought, okay, I'm just going to ring the RACV. So I rang the RACV and at this point I found my mobile. Yeah, I was just thinking it's amazing. My girlfriend Ali reflected this to me afterwards. She's like, when you're so caught in the feeling, it's like you become so disconnected from the present moment, and it's like, and things just disappear. So, like my phone. I think she said it more eloquently than that, but anyway. So I found the phone, rang the RACV. I'm on the phone to the RACV. They were amazing, and the woman said to me, look, I said it's an emergency. She said, yep. She goes, we'll have someone there in 15 minutes. And I was in such gratitude. I was like, awesome, thank you so much. And she's like, oh, do you want me to up it? And that's all I heard. And I said, let's up it. She goes, okay, I'll have someone there in 5 minutes. I was like, awesome. That's all I heard. And literally, by the time I hung up the phone, the RACV was there. And I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Meanwhile, Paddy's completely fine. He's just having a great, he's just in the car, completely content. So the RACV start to try and get in the car. And about 3 minutes later, the ambulance turns up. And I was like, who rang the ambulance? And the RACV guy said, well, often when it's an emergency, the ambulance gets called. And I said, oh, okay. And they get out of the car. And I was like, I'm terribly sorry, I don't think we'll need you. My son is in the car. And they're like, no, it's fine. So we're standing there. And then all of a sudden I've looked up and the fire truck arrives. I was like, what the? Oh my God. And I looked at the ambulance guys. And they said, yeah, we get called and then the ambulance gets, and then the fire department gets called. I was like, oh my God. So there's like 4 firemen jump out of the car. And they're working on the car. The RACV guy is working on the car. And Paddy's like in the car and he's quite curious as to why there's so many people outside, but he's still completely content. And I was like, I felt so embarrassed. I was like, I'm so sorry, everyone. Like this is, and they're like, no, it happens all the time. And then the ambulance, and then the fire truck guys are going, oh, look, we just want to beat the RACV because we've got a tally of beating them every time and we just want to make sure we do this time. So they're all working, like there's 4 of them and only 1 RACV guy. So they're all working away and I was like, wow. And they get the car open. And Paddy didn't like completely fine the whole time and I was like, wow. Then I get him out of the car and thanking everyone and then ambulance guys hop in their car and they put on the sirens, and Paddy's there going, whoa, and he's waving, and he's like, this is amazing. And meanwhile, I'm just calming down. And I was like, wow. And then everyone leaves, and I was like, wow, that was amazing. And then I get a text from my girlfriend Ali, and she's like, let me know how everything is. And I give her a call, and I said, wow, we're out, we're completely fine. She goes, well, how about I come over and, what can I bring you? And I said, I'd love a chai. And she said, oh, and what would Paddy like? And I said, oh, she was at a cafe we love, Conscious Cravings, and I said, oh, he loves the veggie rolls they do. So she's like, cool, I'll get him that. And so we come inside, and within 15 minutes, Ali arrives, and Paddy's looked at her and seen that she's gotten him this veggie roll, and he's like, ooh! And so he's all excited, and I was like, oh my God. And then I sat down and had the chai with Ali, and I was really shaken by it. And in the conversation, what I realised with Ali's help was that that what came up for me was a fear around his safety and him not being all right. For him, what came out of the conversation was just recognising how well looked after he was. In that, the neighbour was home and came over to help. The RACV were there before I even hung up the phone. The ambulance came, the fire truck came, that was Paddy showing me that he was so well looked after. And something means nothing until we make it mean something. But I kind of liked that perspective. I liked that perspective. And it really resonated for me. And I was like, oh my God. And And that night, I was Paddy normally likes his dad to put him to bed, but that night he wanted me to put him down. So I was lying and I often hop in the car with him, just because I can. And I was lying there with him, and he fell asleep, and I was just looking at him. And it still moves me. This little voice came up inside me, and it was, I got this, Mum. And I thought, wow, yeah, he does. And I was like, I felt like, I just got to get out of the way. And obviously he still needs me to be there, but it's just being conscious of my reaction to situations, and remembering to breathe and move into that witness space, and trying not to get caught up in all the emotions. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And since that happened, I've been really sitting with, if he's so well looked after, what about me? And that's where I then, when I reflect back on all the things that have happened and the moments I've had, that I can see the perspective of being looked after. I'm just feeling into if there's anything else, but I don't think there is. Anyway, that's it for that one. Thank you. Bye.